What's going on? Gonna try this whole video diary situation. Don't know how that's gonna go. But again, editing software was made for this. All right, just arrived at Rythmia for my week-long ceremony with ayahuasca. Feels a little strange to be back for a second time. The first time I was here with Davina in November 2020, and the fact that we were together, I don't know, just made things different. This time I feel alone, not necessarily in a bad way, just I am alone. And so all of my thoughts are much louder in my head. I'm not bouncing them off Davina or listening to how she's feeling, just present with myself. So that's like the first difference that I'm really noticing from last time for myself. I'm also witnessing my ego just thinking that it can handle all of this and like taking on this identity that was in here last time. And yeah, I'm just letting it do its thing. I'm just watching it for now. I did just go to the gym, which is why I'm red and sweaty. It felt good to just get into my body and out of my mind. Something interesting though, as I walked into the gym, the TVs were playing CNN and Fox News and other channels, all playing footage of the war on Ukraine. Yeah, I don't think there's any accidents here at Rythmia. I don't think it was necessarily planted, but not a coincidence that I was playing. At first, I kind of got upset because I've been avoiding the news so much for the last week. And I wasn't thinking about all this stuff all that much. And here it was right in my face. I almost went to the front desk and asked them for the remote so I could change the channel or just turn off the TV. Ultimately decided, you know what, if it's meant to be playing here for me, let it play. And I just absorbed it, but also moved the energy out of my body at the same time. That's something that I learned from Kyle Kingsbury. He takes on a lot of the, the heavy energies of the human world, whichever side you're on, no side, just the heavy energies. And yeah, he talks about how he moves it out of his body, and it's really important so we don't hold on to this stuff and don't internalize it too much. Because that's how it shows up as sickness afterwards, as depression, as a lot of bad things. So if I was gonna be taking on the news, I figured might as well be at the gym at the same time and sweating it out and unleashing that energy. But man, war is fucking, it looks fucking stupid. Like, once you've seen who we are and you have a big picture on a soul level, on a universe level, on a God level, whatever you want to call it, it fucking makes no sense. It makes no sense. Anyways, we'll see if this bit of news shows up in my experience this week. Otherwise, I feel good. A little bit of nerves kicking in a little bit here and there. Just don't know what to expect, but I know it's gonna go well. All right, first morning here at Rythmia. Just came back from breakfast and yoga before that. Beautiful way to start the day. The food here is always just so delicious. Gotta be honest, not fully keeping up with my dieta because it's so hard to resist. Pancakes, muffins, everything is healthy and high vibe, but couldn't stick to the full dieta. Hopefully, I think I'm still good, still clean. So I'm having trouble getting comfortable here. Here we go. So what has been happening? Last night, attended breathwork. The class was mostly people who had just finished their week. So there was a lot of ecstatic emotions running through the room, which is always powerful to witness. I felt like my walls were a little bit up. Pretty normal when you walk into a group with people who have been bonded all week and you're the outsider. That's just something I had to be witness to, and it was fine, but it definitely made my walls go up. I was a little more silent, a little bit more retrieved. I think all humans, we just want to be seen and heard for who we are. And I just felt like it was harder to do, and I didn't want to come out and be like, here I am, here's Daniel. And so it just kind of made me reflect on it. Well, breathwork was very powerful, slightly different technique than the one that I'm used to, the one that I'm guiding now in my own experiences, which is the elemental rhythm breathwork. But yeah, it was very powerful. Not much came up, but I felt like I was taken to a very psychedelic-like place, which makes sense. Since I did Bufo a couple days ago, I was expecting that might happen, that this might be a bit of a reactivation. And so I really had a lot of fractal visions. It was very physically charged, a lot of energy moving through my body. And then at the end, so we breathed, just like inhale, exhale, moving through the 7 chakras, guiding our energy there. And we did that for about 30 minutes, I believe, although time disappears when we do breath work. So 30 continuous minutes, and at the end we did a long breath hold, and that's really when sort of the magic happens. And I just saw this like giant black hole portal thing open up in my third eye and surrounded by fractals, but I just felt like I was standing at the edge of a portal. To me, it felt like a bit of a foreshadowing of what's to come this week. I really want to go out there and explore the depth of who I am, the depth of spirit, the depth of the universe. I want to connect as much as possible, interact with it, play with it, get answers, ask questions. And so this was just a little introduction. After that, everybody was given a chance to do a little bit of sharing, and it was just so nice to hear the people who had been here all week share their miracles and their stories of what they experienced and the ecstasy that they were in. Like, I was pretty high at the end of breath work. I needed to stay on my mat for a while. And I was just sitting there with my eyes closed and a big smile on my face, like taking in and listening to all the beautiful stories. And that's really when I started to recognize that I had my walls up, because I was starting to see them come down. Again, people sharing I'll get to this in a moment. People sharing their stories is just such a strong point of connection, I'm discovering. That's really what binds us together. So that leads me to later in the night. I come back to the room after dinner, had a nice chat with a few people there. Everything was great. Come back to the room and I see 2 suitcases at the door. So I know that my roommate has arrived, but he's not here in the room. So I just do my thing, kind of start unwinding. And then he comes in, and I was not sure of what to expect. Last time we were here, we heard some rough stories of some people who didn't enjoy their roommates, just couldn't get along. So I was slightly worried that might happen, but also fully trusting that whatever was meant to be would be for me. Anyway, so Josh comes in, we introduce ourselves, give each other a hug, and just start chatting. And we chatted for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know, I lost track of time. And there's this instant mutual friendship that started developing. And we just kind of shared about our walks of life, our stories, why we're here. Yeah, just like honest conversations. And it was really fun. I felt like both of us were really enjoying it. And yeah, that's really when I realized that I don't know what his views are on the world. I don't know. He's a Republican, Democrat. I don't know much about him, but sharing our stories like this and just showing our human side is really such a powerful connector. And I'm feeling like the importance of sharing our stories for getting people together. Not something I had thought of all that much up until now, but it's encouraging me to keep sharing vulnerably, to keep pushing through this fear I have of people judging me, of people thinking that I'm obnoxious, people thinking, it's all people thinking. None of it is, I don't actually think any of those things, but I'm afraid that people will think those things. So a good, important lesson right from the get-go. And that's it. Gonna read my book. I have a quick phone call for another plant medicine trip coming up in a couple months, and go by the pool and meet some more people and go from there. All right. Recording my video journal for day 3 that I'm here. But really what's most important is that this is the morning for the first ceremony today. Feeling excited. The nerves are starting to come in a few hours before. I just came out of the deep sea cleanse, which is a cleanse up your booty and all of your poop comes out. Yep, I poop, you poop, everybody poops. And get over it. And it's a interesting thing to go through, but it feels great. I feel empty, vessel feels empty, ready for drinking the medicine and just not going into it with like this heavy stomach. Struggling a little bit with setting my intention for today. The overarching intention is to get more clarity for my role on this planet, in this life, what it is that I want to do. I feel like I go into so many different directions, especially in my head, and I just want to be a little bit more focused. And I know that I'm not going to get all of the answers in a ceremony or the day that I drive out of this place, but I know that with time, answers will probably figure themselves out. If I look back at the last, 16 months of my life, I'm a completely different person, and our lives, Davina and I, are completely different as well, for the better, all for the better. And it wasn't like overnight change, like this magical thing happened after we sat in ceremony. It came with patience and just knowing that everything was unfolding the way that it was supposed to. So yeah, just feeling like I want to get realigned again, check in with myself, see where I need to let go of anything, just see what comes up. My mind is trying to create expectations and define how I'm feeling, but really, I just want to go in and do this thing and see what happens. So that's it. I can feel the group synergy forming. That's pretty fun to witness. I just know that on Friday, like everybody's gonna be so close, and now we're all strangers, and it's fun knowing what is coming and to bear witness to that in real time. I'm enjoying that. I'm developing some nice relationships with different people as well, enjoying getting to know everyone. That's it. All right, I guess the next journal will be on, burp comes out right as I'm about to say the other side of ceremony.